position. You know, we have people who have testimonies. And sometimes people say, well, who are these people? Well, they're from everywhere, all walks of life. These are individuals who have worn the patch. And I just want you all to hear from them just for a few minutes. The first person I want to bring up, Miss Rosetta Allen. Rosetta, are you there? Are you available to speak? Miss Rosetta Allen, I see you here. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to ask you to unmute.
Hello. Hello.
Okay, are you there?
Yes, hi.
Okay.
You can hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you turn your camera on or no?
Okay, hold on. Let me just try to. Okay. Sorry.
Okay, we can see you.
Hi.
If you don't mind, would you take the next couple minutes or so and just share your testimony?
Sure. I was introduced to the patch by Viola. And at first I didn't want to do it because I didn't believe it could take the pain away. I've been suffering from arthritis in my right side of my leg and my foot and my back. And ever since I started doing the patches, I've been doing different things. But for the past couple of days, the pain was subsiding. And then actually the other day I had texted, I said, oh, because I work in a school with kids, and I said, I'm playing basketball with the kids. And it was just amazed. I mean, even the kids was like, Natalia, what are you doing? Don't hurt yourself. And I'm like, no, I'm fine. And today we was bowling today in the gym. So it was like I was doing a lot of stuff that I couldn't do for a long time. And now I'm kind of happy with the patch, and I think I'll be using it for a while.
Well, great. Well, we certainly appreciate it. And I know as you wear the patch, the more you wear the patch, I'm sure the more you're going to see the results that you're looking for. I think all our bodies are that. So was that it, or you have more to share?
Okay, that's it. That's what I wanted to know. That I'm going to tell everybody that it is working. So I would suggest to try it.
Okay, absolutely. Well, hey, folks, like I said, you're going to hear testimonies from different people. Everyone's going to have a little different testimony, but the results are very good for each and every single one of us. So again, thank you, Ms. Allen, for sharing your testimony. What I'd like to also do, I want to bring up someone right now who I also have, I know this person very well. Lauren, are you there? Are you available to speak?
Yes, I am. Can you hear and see me okay?
See you very well. Go ahead,
Awesome.
Lauren, if you don't mind sharing your testimony, and as we keep moving here.
All righty. Well, hello, everyone. I'm Lauren. Reggie is my dad, and I hope everyone's doing great tonight. My testimony, just a little background on me. I finished up playing collegiate softball in 2022, in the spring of 2022. And I spent most of my time at the University of South Carolina, where I graduated as well, with my bachelor's and master's. So I was there for quite some time. And during that time period, I actually had hip surgery and shoulder surgery. Hip surgery for a hip condition called femur acetabular impingement, FAI, that led to a severely torn labrum over years. And then that was in 2018. And then 14 months later, in 2019, I had shoulder surgery to repair a torn labrum in my shoulder. And so during that time, I had lots of steroid injections. Leading up to the surgeries, I had lots of steroid injections, as well as PRP injections. And if anyone's familiar with those, they're very similar to stem cell injections, where it basically uses your body to heal itself. And so it was great. That's where I actually experienced the most relief. So I continued that throughout my college career. So every 6 months, I'd have to have it done. And then it was very expensive. PRP injections, similar to stem cell injections, can be $5,000, $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 for each injection. And I had to get it done every 5 to 6 months, to finish out my collegiate career. And even after following the surgery, I still had to, monitor the pain with different medications and physical therapy and all of that. So then fast forward, my dad was introduced to the patch in the summer of 2022. And he said, hey, Lauren, well, put this on your hip, put this on your shoulder. Let me know what you think. Let me know if, anything happens. And so it's very interesting, because if you've ever had a labrum issue, rotator cuff, then you might experience lots of popping. My shoulder always popped, and I have a softball training business, so I'm still very active, and I always just expect my shoulder to pop whenever I'm doing particular stretches. That day that I wore my first patch, it did not pop, and I thought that was very interesting. And so what I noticed was, besides my shoulder discomfort going down a lot, over time, my hip pain decreased tremendously. Even before the surgery, it was hard for me to walk. After the surgery, I still experienced that everyday pain, like getting in and out of the car or putting my shoes on. That would typically bother me, but the longer I wore the patch, 3 months into wearing the patch, I noticed that hip discomfort went down tremendously. And during the time I was also playing college ball, my sophomore year, I was diagnosed with hypothyroidism, and that typically shoots your energy. I was always looking for a spot in the day where I could take a 15-minute nap, a 30-minute nap, somewhere where I can get some rest. And I've noticed since wearing the patch that my energy is so much better. It's natural energy. It's not jittery, and they're like caffeine, but the energy is great. And so those are two of my biggest testimonies that I've experienced, two of my biggest experiences. But my entire family wears the patch. My brother wears it. He notices great recovery from exercising. He's not as sore as he normally is. His calves are typically very tight, but since wearing the patch, they're not. My mom actually stopped snoring the first night she put the patch on, and I actually didn't even know it that night. I was like, what in the world was going on? Why isn't she making too much noise? But then the next day she said, I started wearing the patch. She put it on last night. And that was in October of 2022. And she has not snored since. And this came from my mom, who snored pretty much my entire life. So that's been great for her. She's also noticed an increase in natural energy. So it's been such a big blessing, not just for my family, but for so many other people. So I definitely encourage all of you to go out and share it with as many people as you can. It doesn't matter if they have a particular condition that you can put your finger on, because a lot of doctors classify aging in itself as a disease. So every one of us is doing that. So I encourage all of you to go and share with as many people as possible, whether they're 25, 95, it doesn't matter, because this is something we all need. So thank you, Dad, for introducing it to us and allowing me to share.
Thank you very much, Lauren. Really appreciate that. We've heard your testimony, and it's always very powerful. So again, thank you, Lauren, so much, for sharing your testimony. All right, we have one other person I want you all to hear from. I don't know if I'm just going to see if he's available. Jeff, are you there? Are you available, Jeff?
I'm here, Reggie.
Yeah, Jeff, you don't mind taking a couple minutes and just share your testimony, and we'll be moving on. Thanks a lot. I appreciate you getting.
Well, thanks for letting me convey this evening with my testimony. I've got so many, all the benefits that you already talked about in that the product provides. I'm experiencing those things as well. But some special I got some special testimonies that I like to share. Number one is that I was experiencing high spikes in my sugar count, which led to being diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. Now, my A1C at the time was 12.1. I was having spikes of over 300. I didn't realize how severe diabetes was until I realized that it was destroying my body on the inside. So I was actually walking around dopey. I got used to feeling like I was out of sorts or whatever. But again, it was something that I experienced for quite a while. That led to as my body broke down, me having a severe left side paralysis stroke. And upon having that stroke, it affected my heart the most severely behind that. But I found myself dragging my leg. I had to learn how to walk, talk, speak, even swallow without choking on my own saliva. And on top of that, my heart rate was affected, like I said, the most. My heart rate went down to only a 15% function. So I was on life support. I was receiving, the doctors wouldn't let me come home without a pacemaker and a defibrillator. And I had that implant done. They promised me that my heart rate would increase up to 45%. Now that's less than 50% of my body's actual ability to function. But at the same time, I was elated at that progress. On top of that, I had experienced other things like sleep apnea and gastroenterology for acid reflux and all these kinds of things. So fast forward to 3 years ago, my good friend, the presenter tonight, Mr. Reggie Stewart, brought me some patches. He said, Jeff, I know what you're going through with your health and whatnot. Try these patches. So I trusted him. I had nothing to lose. So I put the patch on. He told me how to wear it, 12 hours on, 12 hours off, which I followed his instruction. He gave me 3 days worth. Now this happened in November of 2022. And that week, 1 hour later, after I had begun wearing the patches, remember I had spikes over 300. That day I had a spike of 301 or 302, somewhere around there. Anyway, I put the patch on. 1 hour later, my glucose, my sugar count went down within my range. Now my range is on a low 75 and on a high is 250. So the number came down to 170. And I didn't think it was the patch. I didn't, assume that it was the patch. I didn't even realize that I was still wearing the patch. So fast forward 3 days later, I did the same thing the following day, and then the following day. And each day, my glucose number stayed within range. I simply thought I was having a good week. Now, my doctors, my cardiologist, as well as my endocrinologist, had me on regular visits to to their offices. Now, my cardiologist had me on 6-week visits, and every 6 weeks, I was getting the EKG to monitor my what they call injection fracture. Now, my injection fracture stayed the same, and it sent me into a state of depression because every time I would go, the doctors would say, or the nurse would come in and say, with the results, your percentage is 45%. Continue to take your meds. We'll see you in 6 weeks. Now this went on for a while, up until that week of Thanksgiving, and it was time for me to go back to my cardiologist 6 weeks thereafter. Now I didn't know this was going on in my body, but this time the results came in and the doctor brought him in himself. And he told me while I was in the examining room, he said, Jeff, I got good news for you. I said, well, what is it? He said, your heart rate has gone from 45% function to 60% function. I was like, okay, great. Well, what does that mean? He said, now your heart is actually functioning 100% on its own. That means it's beating without the help of the defibrillator or the pacemaker. Now, I could have danced a jig at that point and danced out of his office. In the meantime, I have an appointment with my endocrinologist as well. Now, this is the person who tells you what your A1C is. Now, mind you, my A1C was at 12.1. Just recently, my endocrinologist got back with me with the results, and my A1C is at 7.9. So those numbers are moving in the right direction. My sleep apnea is gone. My acid reflux is gone. Listen, if you're thinking about this for the first time, just do it. Just do it. Don't even think about it. Don't worry about it. Don't be scared. Try this thing out. Reggie, I'll turn it back over to you.
Thank you very much, Jeff, man. We appreciate your testimony, man. And like I told you earlier today, you get a new one every week.
Look,
So,
they keep
man,
coming. They look, that's mammon from heaven, brother. Mammon from heaven.
Well, I tell you what, that's what we're all looking for, I believe. And I thank you for sharing, man. And it's been an incredible journey for you. And I'm so grateful that I was able to have something to share with you, because, I really didn't know all those things were going on with you, and when I shared this patch with you for the first time. But folks, you got to remember, there are people in your life that you know and you love. My thing is to always be in a position where I can help somebody. If you have something like this, I don't know anything greater. So again, Jeff, thank you, man, so much for sharing your testimony. Thank you very much.
Reggie, I can't thank you enough, man. Have y'all be blessed.
Thank you, man. We appreciate you. But hey, folks, you heard it for yourself. And I'll encourage every single person on here to really understand this for what it is. And we have so much to look forward to with this. This is just the beginning. You know, there's nobody in our team that's been more than 19 months or so. So I encourage everyone to look at this for what it truly is, an opportunity to help every person you know. And if you can imagine what Jeff said a little while ago about, you know, it's almost put, you know what bad health can do, or your health not so good? It can put you in a state of depression. Most people don't realize that, you know, because, you know, even when you have pain in your body, you have these discomforts, you don't want to go anywhere, you don't want to do anything, you know, and as we age, those things become more and more real. So that is why it is so important for us to reactivate our body's own stem cells. Because when we turn 30 years old, we lose half the function of our stem cells. So as we age and we continue to age, that is when we start realizing that these other issues start happening in our bodies, but we may not have a solution. Folks, we have something today that can help everyone. I'm going to just kind of run right through some things because I truly believe that everyone is looking for what we're seeing on the screen here. What most important in your life is a family, time, freedom, security, travel, better health, less debt. I think all these are things that we all can relate to. We would love to improve and at least, you know, look at it moving into our future as things that can be very exciting for us. So as we look forward and we talk about this company says, you know what, we know we have a great product and we have a compensation plan that we're going to offer to you as a result of you sharing with other people. And sometimes people say, well, you know what, I'm not interested in making any money. Well, it's not about you making money. It's about understanding where the revenue comes from this company. The revenue comes from the fact that there's a product that works, a product that's flying off the shelf. Just so happens this company says, you know what, we're going to reward you for your efforts in sharing this with other people. That is all this is about. Sometimes people look at it and say, hey, look, it's network marketing or it's MLM or relationship marketing, direct sales. You can call it whatever you want to call it. The reality is it is creating more millionaires than any other industry. And we're in a great, very strong position, again, because we have something that's very unique. The company says, when you get started here, we're going to allow you to get paid. But more importantly, we're going to teach you how to do this. Getting started is as easy as knowing 4 people to go manager. Manager just means you're going to have 2 people on your left and 2 on your right. If you see in the diagram, you see you, and then you'd have 2 people on your left, 2 on your right. As you do that, that is going to happen naturally for a lot of us, just naturally. Once you kick that off, when you have that person on your right and your left, everything that falls under you at that point, you're in a position to get paid. The company will allow you to earn up to $25,000 each week from the binary. $25,000 each week. Some people look at that and say, look, that's too much money. But not really. We just have never seen anything that is flying off the shelf that gives us such an opportunity. One thing that LifeWave doesn't do, we don't make any promises regarding income. You know, with the success or failure of each LifeWave brand partner, as in any business, it depends on, on your skills and your personal effort. Now, you should not rely on the products of other brand partners as an indicator of what you will earn. So we just want to make sure we let everyone know this is no get rich quick scheme. This is not anything that you got to wonder about. The evidence is already here. Are people already doing this? Absolutely. Are people doing more than this? Absolutely. Are people doing less than this? Absolutely. The fact of the matter is, when you see it for yourself, you make the determination if you're going to go and make it happen because it's already happened. If you're going to make it happen for yourself. Also, the company says we have something called matching bonuses. Matching bonuses, unlimited income potential. This is where you share this with someone. What if you had shared it with Reggie Stewart, myself? What if you had shared it with me? I would be on your first level. And me being on your first level, the company is going to cut you a check, a bonus check of 25% of what I earn each week. So when I earn $1,000, you're going to earn $250 every single week that I earn $1,000. But guess what? You didn't just share it with Reggie Stewart. You knew 10 other people. You knew 5 other people. Guess what? You're going to earn a bonus of 25% on every single person you have that you personally enrolled into this particular company. Also, when I share it with someone, guess what happens for you? You're going to earn a bonus of 20% on your second level. Because see, that's my first level. You're now going to earn 20% on the people that I personally enrolled. But also, guess what? When those individuals go out and share with other people, you're going to earn 20% bonus on those individuals on your third level. Folks, that is absolutely phenomenal. We are seeing some of the most ridiculous incomes. The product is so powerful and so crazy. I mean, we're talking about a product that works. We're talking about, we don't have to sell it. I hear people say all the time, you put the product on people and they call you back. What other place would you love to be in, being a business person, than where you have a product that you don't have to sell? Sometimes people say, look, I don't like selling. You don't like making money, no matter, if you're saying something like that. But the point is, it's about understanding that the product works. As a result, there's some phenomenal payouts here with Lifeway. What I want to do real quick, there's a lady on the phone. I want you all to meet her. Someone I have a tremendous amount of respect for. This lady is doing some phenomenal things. She and her husband, they reached the top position in this company, and they did it in record time. So they're really on their way to doing even greater things. I can't say enough about them, but I want to just give Miss Verdita Monk a moment, just to kind of share her personal story behind what this is all meant to her and her family, because she's on the ball. She and her husband, Harvey, are doing some phenomenal things. And I just want you all to get a chance to hear from her what this has meant to her. Verdita, are you on the line?
I am here, Reggie. Can you hear me clearly?
Absolutely. We can hear you, can see you, and see you.
Well, first of all, I want to say that you have done such an incredible presentation as always. And I know the people on the call are just excited and, can't wait to tell somebody what they've heard tonight. Before I go any further, because I want to tell you why I'm here and why I'm excited about this, but I want to say that Miss Rosetta Allen did not do justice to her testimony, because this young lady, where she didn't tell you, she talked about the basketball and all these different things she was doing. She did not tell you that she'd been walking on a cane for years, could not climb the stairs for almost 15 years. She didn't tell you that. That qualifies, why is she able to go out there and play basketball? And she's only been on the patch for about a week. And so this is incredible. So I hope that these testimonies that you heard, Lauren's testimony, a young girl in college having to pay thousands and thousands of dollars every 6 months. You gotta understand how incredible what we have our hands on is, and that this is not something to take lightly. As Reggie said when he first came on, don't take this lightly. But I want to talk to you from a business perspective, and I want to tell you why my husband and I got started with LifeWave and why it's important to us, because we were shared a patch as well. We were shared some patches as well with a friend of ours by the name of Mr. Ken Robinson. And by the way, Ken is somebody that we have a whole lot of respect for. We did not consider ourselves, ill in any type of ailments, no pain, no kind of disorders that we knew of. That's what most people think until they start hearing these testimonies or until they start wearing the patch. But out of curiosity, we had gotten on a call like this. We had heard some incredible testimonies. And so we said, well, we may as well try this patch. It's not going to hurt. You see, I got mine on right now, right by my wrist. And we said, well, we'll just try the patch. And that night, this is the first, I just could not ever recall sleeping as deeply as I did that night. But I believe the reason I slept so deeply that night, number one, was because of the patch, but also is because my husband did not snore. Now, this was something very serious, you guys. He had been snoring for over 10 years, very loud, to the extent that I could not stay in the same room with him. He was choking and coughing with acid reflux. I mean, this is serious. This is a respiratory disorder that literally can kill people. And so that he did not snore. That was November 12th of 2022. So that had to get our attention. He has not snored once since that night. And that's very important. And that's we didn't think the patch would do something like that. We just thought it was people with pain, as I said. So I want you to just, don't even doubt this. This thing is just very sophisticated. It knows what your body needs. And this is the other thing I want to say is, don't think that as soon as you put the patch on, you're going to see something, because everybody's body's different. It may take 2 or 3 days. It may take a week, but it is working immediately. When you put the patch on, over 4,000 genes going to be reset. So just know that, because I don't want you to take this lightly. But after we saw what happened to us and what we saw happen to other people, like you've heard on this call, there was just no way, because we care about people. We're not selfish type of people. There was no way that we were going to keep this a secret and just care about ourselves. So we made a list of all these people we knew, and decided we had a list of 25 couples that we wanted to give each, the husband and the wife, 5 of these patches apiece. And we wanted to give, there was some 25 individuals that we knew as well. Ended up coming to a point where we said, you know what, we're going to get this, the biggest package we can get, because it's going to allow us to give all these patches out. And it allowed us to have some for ourselves. But here's what, if you're looking at this, some people are very analytical from a business standpoint. You know, my husband and I normally are that way. But in this case, we didn't even think about the business aspect. I'm just telling you the truth, because it wasn't about the money this time. It was, I mean, the testimonies that we heard were just unbelievable, like Jeffrey's that you heard. And so when we normally make an assessment of a business that we want to do, we think about timing and positioning. You know, if we get started with this business, what type of advantage are we going to have if we say, okay, maybe a year from now, we'll decide to do it? Well, I tell you this, timing and positioning is perfect right now, because we're just scratching the surface. You know, like Reggie said, we've all been in, my husband and I have been in this business for 15 months. And then now the fact that the company is in a growth phase where it's going straight up, that growth curve is going just like that, not like this, but it's going straight up. It's growing extremely fast. And, you know, it grew from 20 million a year to over 420 million at last year. And that all happened within 3 years, you guys. That is just unbelievable. And so also, if we thought about, if we are looking at it from a business perspective, we're wondering, is this a solid company? LifeWave is solid as a rock financially. Is the product a market disruptor? Yes, of course. I mean, doctors, so many doctors are part of this because they couldn't do anything else for their patients. So therefore, when they heard about this and saw what it did for their patients, that's who was in the company at first, were physicians. So if it's a market disruptor because it's taking people off of medication, so they're not having to rely on that market, on the medical market anymore. They're relying on this one. And so I just want you to think about this. Don't worry all about all those details about how to do this, how to do that. We're going to teach you. That's why we're on this call right now. We're going to teach you everything you know. We have a site that has step-by-step everything you need to do. But I promise you, if you just be excited and just go and tell everybody what you heard tonight, and get back with the person that invited you to the call, because we're going to make sure that we give you a game plan so that if you're motivated, you may not be that motivated, but if you're motivated and you want to get money as an issue out of the way from that perspective, and if you want to get bad health as an issue out of the way for all of your friends and relatives and yourself, you're at the right place at the right time. We call it This Is It. We're the This Is It team. You can go to thisisitteaminfo.com and get all the information you need about this product, and we'll get you started very quickly. So get back with the person that invited you to the call. I'm going to turn it back over to you, Reggie, and thanks for allowing me to share.
Thank you so much, Berdita. Great information, great insight, and certainly we know that you and Harvey, you all on an incredible journey to helping so many people, and that's the good thing. You know, like she said, it's about really helping people. How many people you want to help? So again, thank you so much, Berdita, for that remarkable commentary there. We really appreciate it. Okay, as we wrap up, folks, we're going to take the next 3 or 4 minutes, and I'm going to run through this and just kind of give you an idea of what it takes to get started in what we're doing. Sometimes people say, well, how do I get started? It's pretty simple. The company says when you get started with LifeWave, you want to get started on this X39, you want to come in at one of these 3 packages. The silver pack, it's $299 plus shipping and tax. You're going to get 3 sleeves. A sleeve will come like this. You will get 3 of these. Also, each sleeve contains 30 patches. Then you want to go, you say, hey, look, well, now you're in business. One can be for yourself. Then you can have a sleeve for your spouse or someone else, and then you can have one to share. But there are some people who say, hey, look, I need more product because I know a lot of people, and I know quite a few people who can probably use this right now. You get started at the gold pack, which is where a lot of people choose to get started because they have much more product that they can launch their business with. It's $499.95. You're going to get 5 sleeves. 5 sleeves of X39 patches. Now you're in a position where you can really go out and kind of share it with other people. That is a great place to get started. Then there's the diamond pack. For those individuals who want to who are serious entrepreneurs, you say, hey, look, you know what? I'm ready to get started. You're going to get 19 sleeves. It's $1,599. 95 cents, you're going to be a diamond now. And at diamond, there's some other incentives. The company says, when you get started at diamond, we want to be able to we want to offer you an opportunity where when you share with another diamond and that person gets started as a diamond, you're going to earn $500 each time a diamond gets started and you're a diamond. That's within your first 90 days of being in business. Also, you don't have to worry about the monthly subscription. The monthly subscription is where you would get a sleeve or two each month. Well, you don't have to do that when you become a diamond for the first 90 days. So let me just share with you the importance of being on the monthly subscription. You're going to get one sleeve, which is a month, one sleeve subscription. That's one sleeve. It's $99 per month. You're going to keep your points. And also you're going to earn up to $100 per week. Some people say that's not a lot of money, but we all know if you can add $100 a week for some people who could add that to their existing household income, that would be quite significant. But guess what? This is an opportunity that's changing people's lives financially. So when you come in and you say, look, I want a 2-sleeve monthly subscription, which is what we suggest, because now you have a sleeve for you and one to share, always. That's $199 per month. You keep your points, potential to maximize the compensation plan, and there's product for 2 people. Great place, great opportunity, because you know what? 2 sleeves is not going to be enough for you to do your business the way you want to do it. You know why? Because the more people you share this with, the more your income goes up. You know why? Because the product works. Not because you're a great salesperson, not because, you know, it's another one of those things. No, it is because the product works. Folks, and as I wrap up, I just want to let you all know, the time is now to make your move. Are you serious about your dream? This is hope for your future. Get started with the X39 today. Get with that person who invited you on to the Zoom. Let them know where you stand. And if you have any questions whatsoever, you can reach out to someone. They can reach out to someone for you. And I'm sure we can get any and all of your questions answered. With that being said, we're also going to be doing a Zoom tomorrow, later on tonight at 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern time for those individuals on the West Coast. So if you know people out on the West Coast, they're going to get this information just as you've got it this evening. And it's an opportunity to start growing, you know, your business. If you decide to do this as a business, the best thing you can do is have product to share with people you know and love, because it's going to only take off from there. Tonight at 10 o'clock Eastern is our next Zoom. You all have a great evening. I appreciate you all. We'll see you all over the top. God bless you. Have a good night.